Hi, this is TapCat. Welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. So when we left off, I really didn't know where to go or what to do. And I guess I still don't really know what we should do. But what I decided to do is put my faith in this task list. So obviously this will stay open until we get to the end of this case. And I know for a fact, because I've tried to interrogate Nelligan further, he won't talk to me at all. I believe this is the key. Even though I've done this twice, trying to examine his belongings, I need to do that again. I've missed something. So before I started recording, I came down to Scotland Yard. We're going to come in here. There's something I've missed. There has to be, because otherwise, we're just stuck here. So let's...
These are the suspect's belongings.
All right, so with this one, I can't pick it up or do anything else.
These abbreviations mean something.
We just look at the abbreviations and he says, yeah, they mean something, but what? Yeah, I get that. And the pocket knife, likewise, I have no options.
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
I'm going to do the same thing for the handkerchief. This is the one I have some hope for, because we can at least pick it up.
Handkerchief with the initials J-H-N.
So all of this is just static. Let's see what's what with this. So we rotate it. Now, the outside is plain. I know there's an inscription on the inside. I just want to be thorough here. And I don't see, anything. So now we come to the inscription. And before I read this, but did...
Partner, 1883.
Did I do this?
To my friend?
Okay, let's start at the beginning.
From R. Dawson. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Okay. I definitely did not see that before. So, there we go. Okay. Okay. So this isn't telling me what to do. But it seems like going back home and checking our archive would be a good idea. Oh, I may have gone to that a little too soon. Let's come back here. Oh, no. You know what, though? Just before we leave, even though it says we have finished interrogating him, I'm going to feel like a complete idiot if I'm somehow blocked and I have to come all the way back here. Yeah, see, we couldn't do this before, so that's not what I need. We've already done this. So I need this other button, I guess.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Oh, no. Okay. I guess not. Yeah, all right. Resume. Okay.
Well, I will see you soon.
We will go back to Baker Street. All right. My archives are calling. Okay, so that, yeah, we didn't have this option before. We will search for Dawson 1883. So in 1883, the first electric railway opens, the Bankruptcy Act of 1883. Dawson and Nelligan are bankrupt. That would seem like the one we want. Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Because this was in a day when there was no central bank to insure. When a bank failed, you just lost your money. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors. So he was going to Norway.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
All right, fair enough. So interrogating him was the right idea, but I was a step too early. And let's go see the young gentleman. So I was thinking, because his father was in Norway, or he took a ship to Norway. Isn't that where Carrie had sailed before? I think I remember that. All right, let's see what we learn. Okay. Did I have options like this last time? Did I miss that? Did I only notice these? I mean, this would be new, but I wonder if gold ring was there. If so, I apologize. That just tunnel vision.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Oh.
Never mind. The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The ring's engraving. Yeah, that would put the lie to what he just said.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Father's jacket. I mean, no, okay.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Let's try this.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Examine the ship's log. So we have to go back to Woodman's Lee, I think it's called. Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking at the moment. What if Peter Carey essentially pirated that yacht and stole all those securities? And that was the cornerstone of his empire? Does that make sense? That would certainly explain what happened to this kid's dad. It doesn't necessarily tell us, though, how he ended up dead. Well, let's examine these ship's logs and see what they have to tell us. Of course, if what I was theorizing is true, would you put that in the log of your ship? 'Cause
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Okay. If any of these names are supposed to mean anything to me, they don't.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Log notes for August.
Rather squally wind. Squally wind. And that doesn't really tell me much. Helmsman suspects incoming storm. So maybe I'm being too harsh. Like maybe it's not that he attacked the other guy. That maybe he, his ship was wrecked in the storm. And then Carey found the boat, went looking for survivors, and instead found stuff worth a ton of money. Of course, I'm guessing. We also have this thing for the Canadian Pacific Railway. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So...
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. A torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
I see. So what am I supposed to do with this? I guess I don't know that yet. Wiggins might help to find the crew of the Sea Unicorn. He should be somewhere at Baker Street. Okay. Then I suppose it's off to Baker Street.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbor.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
I hope there's a prompt. Okay, good.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, as his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just gotta look where the rum and the red lights are.
True.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
All right, fair enough. I guess we need to see what's going on at Scotland Yard.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always. What happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
Holmes and his wry wit. All I was going to say is that, you know, at the beginning, I really didn't know where we were supposed to go, what we were supposed to do. I just had one idea, and if that didn't work, you know, coming to the evidence room, I had no freaking clue what to do next. And now it's like, oh my gosh, we have all these things going on.
These are the suspect's belongings.
Okay, I definitely am interested in the boots.
Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5.
We're going to check that at Woodman's Lee and compare it to the footprints. So I guess this is just a bag that is of no consequence because I am not getting anything at all here.
A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
And what's with the letter?
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals.
Do I want to remove stains? Doesn't that seem a little odd? Perform analysis. I see. Okay. So we're supposed to interrogate him, but I'm kind of thinking maybe we should wait until we've got something with the letter. Let's go back to Baker Street. We'll perform the analysis. And then we'll come back here. Actually, I don't need to walk to the door. Let us see if we can analyze this. We haven't done anything like that before, so I don't know if it's going to be another one of these little mini game deals. Wait, is it out here in the main room? I think it is. Over here, maybe? Or maybe not. No. Am I simply confused? No, wait. I think it's over here. Yep, okay. So I was more or less correct. Recover. Yeah, let's do that.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction.
Oh boy.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
All right, so I've given it some thought, and I believe the correct order is we need to start with blue. Let's put it in. Now this one is essentially given to us on this piece of paper. I'm going to follow it up with green, in part because green is the only one we have no rules with, and this second slot is the only one that I don't need to fill with another one, if you know what I'm saying. We're going to follow this up with another blue. And the reason for that is both of the blues need to be 3 slots before orange. So I'm about to put my first orange in. So this is number 4 because the first one is blue. So now our other instruction is that colorless must come after orange. So 5 will be colorless. We'll follow up with another orange because it has to be 3 after our last blue. And then, again, we're going to chase that with colorless.
Done. Now I can proceed further.
Sweet.
Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery.
Okay. So it looks like 1 stroke is going to get me all I'm going to get. I can rub it more
I
times.
did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
He did as you asked and hid them well, but I beg you to reconsider. Remember our vows. Okay. Well, the bond certificate and the boots. I think what I would like to do is go back to Woodman's Lee just to test the boots. And we're probably going to Scotland Yard once we've done this. But I want to see, before I talk to him, if his boots fit.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
There you go. We get to make a deduction. Well, they didn't do too well on that one. That's not it. Is it this one? Liam Hurtley's boots match the footprints at Woodman's Lee, thus proving he was there. Judith Carey denies that he was their gardener. I didn't even know he was a gardener. All right, let's go back to Scotland Yard. I would imagine we're going to learn some interesting things from this guy. But if you want to see that, then you're going to need to tune in for the next installment, because that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I hope we see you next time.